Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never role-played before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukake, your host. Butthole Allen and Mr. Mittens have snuck inside Catlandia and are planning to ambush the evil Grumpy Cat. But will our heroes survive this fateful ambush? Can Mr. Mittens successfully retake his rightful throne? Are Quidian Rangers still on the damn airship? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
So your plan is to try and install Goblin Jr. as the dog prince, take over command of the dog legions, and then ice Grumpy Cat? Is that what I'm...
That's pretty much it, yeah.
And the evil dogs.
Not all dogs go to heaven. So basically you're going to sneak into the palace? Is that correct?
Yeah, that seems like a good game plan.
As night falls, you keep track of the guard positioning, and you start to infiltrate the palace. Because Catlandia has been abandoned for so long, it's kind of derelict now. You could tell it was once very fine. As you sneak through the main entrance, you can tell that there's not as much action happening here. The excavations seem to be in and around the palace, not so much in it. You kind of enter through the cat's mouth in the giant cat head and make your way down the long hallway. And on both sides, there are fine paintings of epic deeds done by cats past. You come to a junction. The hallway continues up a flight of stairs in front of you, and there are massive arched doorways to your left and right.
Don't I know the palace inside out? Because, I'm kind of the prince.
Can you roll me an insight check, please?
Okay, that's fine. 19.
So to the left is the Hall of Milks, and to the right is the Room of Sand.
I kneel down and I do a snap prayer. We should go left.
I also agree that we should go left because the Hall of Milks leads up to the king's bedroom-ish thing. But before we go turn left, I'd say, would you like to pet me? Good sir.
Do you want me to pet you?
It's fine. I don't care.
I'm good.
I mean, cats like being pet.
I feel like Alan started a good balance there. I'm a grown man. You're a 12-year-old cat boy. I don't know the optics on this. I'm going to pet Goblin Jr. If he turns out to be a dog boy, I'm going to be real bothered.
Yeah, snarf, snarf.
Yeah, you can say it's okay. That doesn't mean it is.
Oh, snarf.
So I already start walking to the Hall of Milks.
I'm going to.
Okay, you enter the Hall of Milks, and it's a large rectangular room. There's a central walkway that branches off. Mm-hmm. There's walkways along either side. And from the center of the ceiling, in between each of these sort of lattice walkways, are just these endless fountains of milk.
My cat urges take over.
Can you roll me a will save, please, to see if you can resist the need to drink the milk?
14.
At the sight of this much clean, fresh milk, you're like, ugh, but you remember that you don't know what Grumpy Cat might have done to the milk.
Good point.
So at the last minute, you resist.
I take out my beer stein, bang it on my hip, and then chug a beer.
I'm going to examine the milk.
Could I have some of the beer?
No, you're 12.
I'm allowed to have beer.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
That's what every 12-year-old says.
Can you roll me an investigation check, please, Laura?
20 total.
The milk has definitely been poisoned. It's a bit off, as it were. You get the sense that this might be one of the many traps that have been laid to waylay other cat people.
I look at the prince. Maybe you want to dip your weapon in that milk, soak it up in that yarn, get a little wacky poisony?
Screw it, why not?
So you soak Puppy Pounder, and the yarn gets thick.
And Puppy Poker, too.
Great. They both get slick with milk.
Tom's expression.
Everybody loves
Priceless.
milk-soaked yarn. Let's go. So we have someone who's soaked their yarn in bad milk, someone who shit themselves. I'm covered in death. We're the best smelling party in the history of the world.
I forgot to mention that Puppy Poker, the whole thing's covered in yarn.
I assumed so, I'll be
All
honest.
right.
I also assumed that, yes.
Yeah.
I think we saw the same reality in our heads. So you make your way past the various milk fountains. And at the very end, there's a massive cascading milk waterfall. And Mr. Mittens tells you that behind that is the secret entrance to the king's chambers.
Can we walk around it or do we have to walk through?
Oh, you do.
Probably through.
Can I have that body bag again for a second?
Okay.
And then I unzip the body bag and I do a Goblin Jr. scarf.
Scarf.
Scarf. I love and hate that joke equally, which is how I know it's a joke I would make from someone else. I fold the body bag in half to get as much thickness as I can.
Okay.
I'm just going to run through using it like a newspaper in a storm where it's ineffectual but better than nothing.
Can you roll me an insight check, please, as you do so?
That would be 9.
Oh, man, you get soaked with milk. but it doesn't smell off.
Nice.
Ah.
And then I take Goblin Jr.'s bowl and I fill it with the milk and then I drink the bowl. How do I feel?
Does the body good.
I fill up the bowl again and I give it to Goblin Jr.
And he's like, I guess.
And then I bang the stein on my leg and I offer that to Goblin Jr.
He's like, all right,
I pull,
snore.
I pull up Billy Fingers. I'm like, can you drink?
Billy Fingers gives you a thumbs down.
All right, sorry, dude.
He gives you a thumbs up. He's never had a drink, so doesn't know what it feels like anyway. I assume you two follow through the milk waterfall.
Oh, yes.
You all make it through unscathed, but gently uncomfortable. All of you begin to make your way up the stairs into the palace floor. So basically, the king's chambers are up on the second floor. You know that the throne room at the north end, there's the king's bedchambers, there were your old bedchambers, and there were Grumpy Cat's old bedchambers. And cut back to the airship. Ranger and Quinny, what are you doing?
I spy something that looks gray.
My skin.
Bingo!
You just keep pointing out all the freakish things on
I spy something that smells like shit.
my skin.
Bingo!
I get a turn at-
spy something that looks like the back of a worn leather book.
My skin?
Bingo!
Jesus, I didn't even know that. That's a fresh wound. That one hurts.
Ooh, it's like Necronomicon.
What's that?
It's a book made of flesh, but the flesh is all rotten. Oh my god, it looks just like you.
What is the Necronomicon? Like it deals with necromancy?
Yes.
Can I see it?
No.
What? Why not? I just want to look at it.
Because reasons. I don't like you.
I
What
don't
part
like
of this
you
deal
either.
makes me think
I
that
don't
I
wanna
would ever
talk-
lend you the Necronomicon?
Because I just want to read something and not talk to you.
Well, now that I know what you want, I'm going to deny it from you.
All right, we'll just keep talking to each other then. Your favorite thing.
Okay,
You look like an
spy-
idiot.
What?
You look like an idiot.
Shut
You
up.
look like what I think an idiot would look
Hey,
like.
you know what? Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
You're slapping him with the swinging hand.
It's limply hitting his face.
That's right. Bucky, help me. Look at this abuse. And Bucky, I didn't think this far ahead. I don't know what Bucky does.
Bucky looks up and has like a Vietnam flashback to the 25-minute pat down.
That makes sense.
And just kind of looks back to you and shrugs.
I can't help you, Mr. Quinney. He's the boss of the ship.
I spy with my little eye something that is blue.
And it's Yevgenovich running by with his dick hanging out going, "It's me!"
Can I get a turn, please? This is the worst way to play this game.
What?
Well,
Hey, are you talking over
me?
Are you
Are
talking
you
when
talking
I'm
over
talking?
Docking?
Is this? Will you stop?
it?
I'm gonna. Alan!
I'm Ranger. I'm stupid.
Hey, I didn't say that.
All right, smash cut back to the temple. You come out into a large square landing. Mr. Mittens, this is very familiar to you. This is your old home. Behind you is one of those classic secret door wall things where it's like... Directly in front of you, to your left, is the hallway that leads to the throne room.
Okay.
To your right are the main stairs leading down, which are flanked on one side by Mr. Mitten's old room and on the other side by Grumpy Cat's room. You can hear some commotion from the throne room, but there's nothing in the immediate area. What do you do?
I think our first priority is to find the dominatrix.
I completely agree.
The domesticatrix.
I've been
What I just
very
said.
bad.
Yeah.
Is it in the
We've
room?
had that adventure before.
Wait, what?
So you get the sense that Grumpy Cat will be using it because, given the information you've got from Jemima, it seems that Grumpy Cat is committed to completing the Jellicle prophecy tonight.
Oh, God.
So it will likely be in the throne room.
Is it a physical door to the throne room or is it stairs? I'm asking you, Mr. Mittens, but Tom might help you answer that question.
Stairs up to a door.
Stairs up to a door.
I want to go peek at the door quietly. Is there a gap under the door? How big's space around the door?
They're big, heavy double doors. They are slightly ajar.
I look to Alan. Alan. And I make little walkie finger motions.
I'm looking ahead and I'm wondering how Billy's going to report back.
And then I give her the finger and then make a circle with one hand and make a finger with the other and penetrate it. And I'm like, you know what those mean?
No.
What do you think that means?
I don't want to say it in front of Mr. Mittens.
I learned it in 5th grade. Go ahead.
One means fuck you. And the other one means doing it. I don't think he learned it in 5th grade. I think he
did.
lied. Oh,
I
good.
did.
They taught those hand gestures here. It's very strange.
It was actually taught by Larry the Goblin.
This explains a lot. I need to talk to Annan about the books she's approving because I don't think Larry's sex guide really needed to go out.
Do we have a pen and paper? I mean, he could just write it. I mean, he's got fingers.
That is smarter
That's
than
an
anything I would have come up with.
Excellent point.
Billy keeps giving thumbs up and pointing at Mr. Mittens and giving thumbs
All right,
up.
Billy.
Okay, does anybody have paper?
I have so much paper.
Yeah, we'll have him write in
Give
that
me-
magic book. Okay, who has a pencil or a pen?
Hello?
Everybody should split up.
Why don't we keep it together? We
sorry,
could
go
send
ahead.
Billy fingers
Okay,
to
so-
go write this stuff down because it's going to take him time. And we
Okay.
go scope the room.
That's exactly what I was about to say. You two could go explore my room. I can go explore Grumpy Cat's room. I have some business to attend to.
Mysterious.
Gonna take a crap.
I was gonna say we should
Grumpy
stay
Cat's
together. But I'm gonna go check his room. I'm gonna let this play out.
Alan, you send Billy fingers in.
Yeah. And Billy, be careful.
So I head down to my brother's room, and they head to my room.
Mr. Mittens, you open the door into Grumpy Cat's old room, and you're immediately hit by a sense of nostalgia. You remember this room. You remember what it used to be like back when he was Happy Cat. There's a scratching post that you guys
Okay.
used to scratch together. He's got like a nice big cat bed that's just covered, because you know Grumpy Cat's very fluffy. It used to be like a gray bed. Now it's just white from all of his excess fur. And you see that his sort of reading desk has a bunch of books open on it. There seem to be diagrams. You can see the word Jellicle written over and over again.
Okay. Are there any drawers or something?
Yep.
I look in all the drawers.
You open the drawers, and they mostly seem to just be like papers, pens, various useful things of that ilk. However, in the bottom drawer at the very back, you find the very first scarf that you ever knit that he promised he would always wear. It's just stuffed in the back.
Old brother, I see that you have my scarf. I love you.
Aw.
And then I peel all over the room, and
Smash cut back to your room. You guys are wandering around Mr. Mitten's room. You know when Joaquin Phoenix goes apeshit on the Marcus Aurelius bust in
Yes.
Gladiator?
Yeah.
That's what this room looks like. It looks like Kylo Ren threw a fit in here. Grumpy Cat's clearly torn the place up.
I want to look for two things, stuff I always look for, and then something new. I want to see if Mr. Mittens has a hidden journal that I can read because I like reading people's journals.
Mr. Mittens, did you keep a journal?
why not?
Great. Yes, there is.
Amazing. I would also like to look for anything expensive because I feel like I need to steal something nice for Quinny.
Oh, that's really thoughtful.
Don't take anything without permission.
I absolutely won't. And I close the door.
You find a pair of royal jeweled knitting needles.
I'm going to pick those up and then I'm going to open up the journal and I'm just going to leaf through to like the middle point and then I'm just going to start reading what it says.
Dear Journal, today Happy Cat has been a little off. He's been saying this weird word. Like, it's freaking me out. So I'm going to keep my eye on him.
I flip like 3 more pages and then I read what's there.
Dear Journal, Grumpy Cat is freaking insane. He has been tormenting the guards kind of meanly. He's being mean to our parents. And he seems to be growing more distant.
I flip to the very last entry.
Dear Diary, Grumpy Cat has gone insane. He is attacking every single person in the city. I am the only one left. It's just me and him. I have to escape. My parents have shown me the way out. I have escaped, and I'm heading to the port town.
Then I flip back
Nice.
through the journal because all that stuff was really good and useful about Grumpy Cat. But I want to find that one entry that everybody has in their journal where it's like really embarrassing and really personal about themselves, like where they're not sure of something and it's like a secret. And then I flip it
Okay.
through. So I find the most embarrassing personal entry and then I read it.
Dear Journal, I feel horrible. I accidentally did a turd inside Grumpy Cat's room. I had to go, but I couldn't hold it. Oops.
I like this guy. He poops himself. I put the journal back. Alan, he's just like you.
Yeah, I get it.
We go into the hallway.
Did you like my journal?
Honestly, yes.
Thank you.
I feel like I really paid that I looked into it. So these knitting needles here,
Yes.
you said don't take anything without permission. I don't want to break those rules because I respect you. But simultaneously, my friend Quinny is a thief. So if I ask for something for him, it's not a gift he'd like. So what I'm going to do is steal these and put them in Goblin Jr.'s backpack. And I put them so they're clearly poking all the way out of the backpack. A lot of people don't like to get stolen from. So, you know, if you don't want them to get stolen, you got to steal them yourself.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm going to steal, and I do air quotes that are actually, because I don't understand writing, me doing the outline of a dick in the air. Steal them. And that's how this is going to go, okay? And then I go back to the hallway to meet Billy Fingers and leave Alan and Mr. Mittens alone.
Okay, so I am still in my room. I take a turd. I fart. I light a match. And I exit the room. The room is now on fire.
It's really weird that he did that in front of Alan.
No, I thought the door was closed.
No, we opened the door,
still
and
there.
I said, I left you with Alan. And you shit.
Oh, God.
I mean, to be fair, you did just confirm the journal. I think Alan just closes the door behind you. Meanwhile, Billy Fingers is currently doing a perfect chiaroscuro shaded picture of the interior of the room. He's really talented, or at least someone who died. He sketches out a perfect diagram of the room. So basically, it's a massive chamber held up by 4 central pillars. In the dead center, they seem to have hacked and carved out a basin, and they seem to have jammed artifacts at 4 points around the central basin. And in the middle is a staff of some sort that is projecting light into 2 large windows at the edge of the room. There's a central throne, and there seem to be 3 people inside the room.
Is the domesticatrix in the room?
I'm assuming that's the staff.
Is that the staff?
Billy Fingers probably doesn't know what it is because he knows exactly what we know.
Yeah.
Realistically, we grab the staff, we run away, right? Like that
That's
works for
pretty
us?
much it, yeah.
Alan, could you just Misty Step, grab staff, Misty Step back, we run away?
I could try.
Perfect. We should get a distraction first so they don't notice
Yeah.
her.
Could we like set a room on fire somewhere so
I
that
already
smoke
did
would...
that, don't worry.
Way ahead of you. Not me. Mittens.
This
Hi.
12-year-old is either a genius or an idiot.
Just gonna throw this out there. Wetting himself.
Poop,
Setting
literally.
things on fire. Okay with killing animals.
Oh, homicidal triad. That's true.
He'll probably get caught by DNA evidence 30 years later after he thinks
I may
he's
not
safe.
be a mass murderer, but I mean, I don't like my brother
Yeah,
now.
you're no Alan.
Is there a way to lock the door?
Not from the outside.
Is there smoke detectors?
No.
Dang it.
Oh, I've got this, guys.
Okay.
Very rarely do I have something this cool. I have a new spell from our hell journey.
Okay, go ahead.
That's called Guardian of Moonhammer. I cast a large spectral guardian that appears and hovers for the duration of 8 hours in an unoccupied spot in range and sight. Any hostile creature that approaches within 10 feet for the first time on a turn must make a dex saving throw. They take 20 radiant damage if failed, 10 if successful. The Guardian vanishes after dealing 60 damage. So you go in and out. I'll drop a Guardian on the stairs. We run. They get hit by the Guardian, and then maybe they go to the smoke or whatever.
If the Guardian kills everyone, wouldn't he kill the Dog King too?
No, we've got the prince right here. And I point at
Smurf.
Goblin Jr. He'd be the king if that guy died.
Yeah.
That'd make this all legal. He could pardon us. That's what you do. You're a crappy person, and you take out the leader, and you put yourself in charge, and then you pardon all of your friends. That's what that troll did in that village we mentioned a while ago.
Huh? You never mentioned any village.
Yeah, we did. It was the troll who took
the
over a
orange
village.
troll, yeah.
And his goblin assistant, the mooch.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, well, I wish that was true of me too.
Wasn't a traveling road play?
They mentioned in Traveling Road Plays, it got covered on the radio. The Gnome Union was really on board. But no, they sent out their spokesperson, the world's worst bard, Sean Spicer.
God.
Yes,
Minus 2
charisma.
It's back. All right, great. You're going to summon Spectral Guardian. You're going to teleport in and out, grab the staff, and then you guys are going to run like hell. That's the plan?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cut back to the airship. Ranger and Quinny, what are you doing?
We're doing some impromptu karaoke.
Quinny, you've been kind of watching Ranger give orders, but they all seem kind of strange, and you're seeing like a small structure get slowly set up in the corner, and then, much to your horror, someone brings out a thaumaturgical mic and plugs it in, and it's like, oh, okay, Mr. Ranger, and we've queued up your song.
Her name is Noelle.
What is this?
Yeah, she rings a bell
What are you
for
doing?
me and her boyfriend kicks
Stop it.
my ass if he knew about he
What do you-
lives on my block.
I'm not.
and drives an IROC. And he
Who-
doesn't
this is an
know
empty room.
who I am.
Is this just all for you?
And she doesn't
this.
give a damn.
What are you doing?
about
Stop.
me.
Can you hear me?
Just a teenage
Oh, God, that's awful.
baby.
What the hell is
I'm
that?
just a teenage dirtbag
Stop. Someone
baby.
stop him. Where did everyone go?
Listen
Bucky.
to
Bucky, where are you?
Iron Maiden, maybe with me.
Is that it? Is that the end of the song? That's it. Where is that sound coming
Bucky
from?
jumps in on the end.
Teenage dirt bag.
And Bucky is just applauding
Bucky is
thunderously.
enthusiastically clapping.
10 more times.
What? Why?
He lives on
Stop.
my block drives an
Do
IROC.
something.
And she doesn't know who I
Quinny
am.
tries to bite his own tongue and just drown
And
on his
she
own blood.
doesn't give
doesn't
a
work.
damn about me. Take
Stop.
it.
And cut back to our heroes. Alan, you make your way up to the door. You can kind of peek through.
I
You can
just
see.
need to peek through a little bit just so I can see where I'm going.
Yep. And you teleport.
I'm going to use benign transposition. So I disappear in a swirl and appear at the staff. I'm going to try to grab it.
You appear in this large room. You can see that the two circular areas that it's projecting into are the reflectors of the cat's eyes on the outside of the thing.
Okay.
On the throne, you can see a cat who looks very grumpy, very grumpy indeed. And there's a dog who looks kind of like a jackal, like sort of an Anubis type, standing with him, arms crossed, and they all look shocked to see you. You grab the staff, and all of a sudden, it's almost as though you're drifting. Time seems to slow for you, and you just start drifting upward. In the back of your head, you hear the voice, "Oh shit, I fell for this once too. Watch out." And you see a very elegant cat come out, and it's a full Mr. Bigglesworth cat, wrinkly
Yeah.
and bald. "Oh, another mage, You thought you could mess with Mr. Mistopheles?" And he throws a fireball at you. Roll for initiative.
Oh, 3. I ain't doing shit.
Nat 1. I poop myself.
I can't even cast shield right now.
11.
I look at the fireball going towards Alan. I look at my gloves and I go, selfish.
Alan, can you roll a save against DC 14?
14.
Oh, dice. You're drifting upward. You can almost hear the voice in the back of your head wince. You're hit for 32 points of fire damage.
32.
Suddenly, time speeds back up for you, and you're flung across the room, and the fireball slams you up against one of the walls.
Oh, that sucks. This is what I've been doing to people.
No wonder no one comes to my birthday party.
Looking through the door, the reason I'm going to be so late to this combat is I'm thinking, what would Quinny do? And then I just say, wizard fight, wizard fight, wizard fight.
Smash cut to
Got any aces?
I'm not really like paying attention anymore. I'm just kind of humming like, wizard fight, wizard fight. Huh? What?
Got any aces?
Oh, go fish.
Ah, fuck.
cut back to next up. Radus pulls out a staff with scythe blades on either side. So flips it around his head. He rushes the doors. He was kind of at the throne, so the room's about 60 feet across.
Wow.
So he's just halfway there. Brings us to Grumpy Cat. Grumpy Cat steps off the throne, pops his claws. You will not stop me, brother. He's a low-key kind of guy.
Yeah, he sounds vaguely like
I
Aubrey
just shouted
Plaza.
at the door.
Yes.
How did you even know I'm here?
Only you would be so bold.
I didn't even make this plan.
He walks over to the staff and grabs it with both hands. I must speed up the ritual. I've never
crap.
been this concerned before. This is the most stressful day of my life. Alan, as you pat the flames at your clothes, you can see the domesticatrix start to pulse and glow faster, and you can see the two mirrored eyes light up. Brings us to Mr. Mittens. You're still currently outside the doors. You hear a tremendous explosion from inside and some taunting from your brother. What do you do?
I step in the door. I say, "Hi, how are you? I'm gonna kill you now." I get out my javelin and I aim it for his head, Grumpy Cat's head.
Roll your attack.
13.
Javelin flies through the air. Unfortunately, now that it's waterlogged in milk, starts to waver,
Dang
and it sloppily hits the ground near him. He's like, a milk javelin. Classic. Which brings us to Alan.
Well, two can play the fireball game, you jackass. And I just immediately brace myself against the wall and just hurl the most focused fireball I can.
At Grumpy Cat or at Mr. Mistopheles?
Is he controlling the staff?
Grumpy Cat is controlling the staff in the
Oh, that
center.
makes
of the room.
sense. That's what I wanna
Mistopheles
stop.
is
Okay,
fighting
that
it.
makes sense.
Yep, you unleash a fireball, and all of a sudden you see Mr. Mistopheles float off the ground, and you can feel his mind start to fight your mind as he reacts with a counterspell.
Oh, no.
So, what level is your fireball?
3. He just beats it.
He just uses his paw, and then he bats the fireball back and forth a bit, then punches it up into the ceiling and says, "Morale, motherfucker."
And I say, hey, he's 12.
I'm a cat. Alan, you still have a move.
I want to duck out of the way and roll behind one of the pillars. Just
Totally.
get to between me and whatever
Absolutely.
his name is.
Mr. Mistopheles.
Mr. Mistopheles, thank you.
So you duck behind a pillar. Butthole, your turn.
How far away am I from Alan?
You are at the entranceway to the room. Alan is about 30 feet from you.
I'm going to run in a straight line because I feel guilty that this was my plan and it didn't pay out like it was supposed to because I forgot to pray. That's the problem. Moonhammer would have guided me through this. So I'm running into the room and I point at Mr. Mephistopheles and I go, "Alan is my you dick." And then I summon the Moonhammer arm to come down and punch that dude in the face.
Well, he's fresh out of reaction, so swing that hit.
12.
12 will hit.
Yes. 18 damage.
A sound hit.
The Fist of Moonhammer, because Moonhammer's got less of a sense of humor now, as we've learned, but is still ultra violent in a dirty fighting way, actually pops out of the floor and just hammers him right in the crotch.
Good thing I've been spayed or neutered.
Well, then it punches him in the dick, but not the balls.
There you go. All right, fine. Bob Barker is very happy somewhere. The famous mage.
And
Okay.
then, because that's just a bonus action, I love that spell. So I'm going to look Freitas dead in the face, and I'm going to say, "Eat, son!" And then I kneel, and Goblin Jr. does the dog's purpose off my back and tackles his dad. So he collides with his dad, and then it's almost slow-mo. Goblin Jr. looks over his shoulder, and I look down at him, and I go, with my eyes, we know each other so well, I just do that look where I'm like, "Kill Dad?"
And he goes, snarf, 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 snarf. Long live the king. And he points at himself.
Oh, got
Perfect.
it. And then I bring Moonlight Bringer around, and I'm going torso. I feel like body shots. They didn't work on the T-Rex, but it's time, just to balance out the earlier mistakes. 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
And I'm going to use one of my hammer hands. So I bring the hammer down, and then channeling the energy through my shield, I'm going to bring that down for a hit as well.
Word.
And that I'm going to use one of my hell farts. So because the score was not terribly good. So I do the same thing where it's like, this time it's a little different, but it's still there. I hit him with one and I bring it back up. And it's a weird thing in that when I'm bringing my fist up, you can actually hear a reverse fart. I'm inhaling with my butt. And then I let it out as I go, and it swirls up and over and powers the hit down. So I hit with a 24.
Yeah, that hits.
14 damage. And then the second hit, because it's magically empowered, 13 damage. So 27 total.
He takes the hits like a proper fighter. So he's you're knocking his head back and forth. And each time he's doing and he comes back up snarling, but more bashed up than he was. Bring us to the top of the round. Mr. Mistopheles, sensing the danger to himself and others, he's going to look down at his creepy, wrinkly, bald cat arm. And he's going to look at that tattoo that's written there that says, "Have you cast mage armor today?" And he's going to cast mage armor on himself.
That's my thing.
So he does that, and then he's going to hang out where he is. So he's just to the left of the central area. And then as his bonus action, he's going to chug a healing potion of catnip. All right, Freitas. So Freitas has just been smacked around by Butthole. So he spins the staff above his head, and he comes at you with 4 quick slashes. Only one will hit. So that is 17 points of damage. So he slashes across you with his blades. That brings us to Grumpy Cat. Grumpy Cat is going to try and roll a save to see if he can maintain his control of the domesticatrix. He can. Mr. Mittens, all of a sudden you feel your body start to shrink a little bit. You feel your limbs start to pull in.
Oh, hell.
And, just suddenly you're just more interested in nice warm spots to sleep on. So can you please roll me a Constitution save, please?
Oh, that's good, because I'm really good with Constitution. I got a 15.
You feel your body start to compact, almost like you're shrinking, and then you just kind of tense as hard as you can, and you manage to kind of stave it off for now, but you get the sense that each round, Grumpy Cat continues to wield the staff. Things might get worse. Brings us to Mr. Mittens.
Nice.
You're in the doorframe, directly ahead of you. Butthole is fighting Freitas at close range. Alan is up to your right, hiding behind a pillar. Mr. Mistopheles is up to your left.
I'm going to rush up to Grumpy Cat. I'm going to hit him once, and I'm going to attempt to throw the domesticatrix out of his hands. Like a side strike in his arm. 22. And for my second strike, I'm going to do a 13.
The 22 will hit.
Okay, so just the 22. Got it. 17 damage on him. Did I knock the thing out of his hands?
No, he manages to hang on. But I will give you an additional D4 damage because he doesn't roll out of the way when he gets hit.
3 damage, so that's
more
20 damage exactly.
He looks so grumpy. That brings us to Alan.
I am going to try out this new spell that I learned. Just with all of the death and the undeath around, I've been inspired to cast Blight on Mr. Mistopheles.
Please tell us what Blight is.
Blight causes a necromantic energy to wash over the creature. It has to make a Constitution saving throw. It's going to do damage whether or not it succeeds.
Okay, he fails.
Excellent. Can I have some D8s, please?
Yes, you may.
8 of them. He takes 35 damage, necrotic damage.
So Mr. Mistopheles, he's got his mage armor up, and he's floating there. He remembered to cast mage armor today. He's pretty happy about that. And then all of a sudden, he feels cold. He feels cold in a way he hasn't felt since when he was a painter, which was his first life, or in his second life when he was a baker. He really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
In fact, he's had 9 lives, but this is his last one, and he feels the cold embrace of death surrounding him. He doesn't understand. And suddenly, as he catches your eye, he goes, "My God," and just turns to ash. His skull falls out. He had exactly 35 life remaining.
Oh my God, he did.
And as he goes,
That's awesome.
Alan, you feel a pulse through you. And as you look down, the stain from your hand starts to expand slightly up your arm. However, you feel great. And you see his shade, rather than go down or up, you actually see it get pulled through and out past the back of the throne room as though it's being drawn to the Well of Souls.
Oh, shit.
He perma-dead.
I just say, oh, shit. And then I mentally fist bump the voice in my head.
That was well done. We're a good team.
Yeah, it was.
Bye-bye, Mr. Bigglesworth. Brings us to Butthole. You're still fighting the doggo.
Knowing that we got this guy zapping us with powers that I don't particularly care for, you know what they say? Deal with your problems, and Moonhammer will handle the rest. And by they, I mean me, because it's pretty much just me who makes up Psalms of Moonhammer. So her arm is going to pop out of the ground again and try to hit Grumpy Cat. Nat 20.
Yeah, that'll hit.
26 damage.
You smack Grumpy Cat around. He is a bad kitty. He's punched repeatedly, smacked around. He's down on one knee, going, "Meow." And he looks pissed.
Great. I'm going to leave him to Prince
Thank you.
Homicidal Triad.
Thank
and
you.
I'm going to make...
It's Prince Mittens.
I meant to think that, but I said it out loud, and that's my own fault, Prince.
It's
Very
fine.
sorry. I'm
It's
saying
fine.
as I'm swinging my hammer down at Freydis.
Yep, go ahead.
Because he isn't talking, and that's weird. Because I know Goblin Jr., and Goblin Jr. is a chatty little asshole, and I love that about him, which makes me think there might be something a little wonky here. Also, murdering your friend's dad feels like if they're going to do it, it should be them. It shouldn't be you. So I'm going to try to not kill him, but I can't tell how tough he is, so I'm just going to keep hammering the hell out of him.
Roll me an insight check.
21 total.
This guy looks nothing like Goblin Jr.
In my head, I go, oh, Goblin Jr., you just want to be the king. Well, let's see how this plays out. And then I just bring the hammer down
Roll your attack. Keep in mind, you've got advantage because you set Goblin Jr. on him with a...
Oh, yes. 18 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Again, using my hammer hands. Bring it down, and then it's just up and down again. It's always that final scene from Return of the Jedi, just where Luke's wailing on
overhand,
Darth. Yeah.
yep.
It's that, only this time it's like Darth Maul. So, I mean, I'm going to hit him, but my dream would be if he's trying to defend himself and it just hammers through the middle of his thing and then hits him in the
that would
head.
be sick.
So we got second attack, 26.
Yep, that hits.
The first one, again, is going to have my fart of fury.
Yep.
At this point, or the earlier fart is still in the air around me, so my movements are almost slightly blurred. Like, in the action movies when they move too
it's a fart
fast for
blur.
camera. Yeah. So the second one comes out, and it's just like a rocket-propelled hit. So the first one does 13 damage, and the second one does 11. So 24 damage total.
So the first one comes through, and you crack through the staff. You plant the hammer in his face, and then you reach up and grab the two halves of his staff and jam them down through either side of his throat, and he falls to his knees and collapses.
Great.
Who was that?
Do you know who that was? A dead guy.
Wow, so many dead people. All right, Mr. Mittens, you're up.
I'm gonna rush up to Grumpy Cat. Hairball, and I shove it down his throat. See how you like this, bro? So then I get my flail and I do an overhead strike
All right.
because that always gives me a 26.
But not this day.
Yeah.
You get 2 attacks, bud.
Oh yeah, that's right. 19.
Was it a nat 19? It would count as a critical because you critical on 19 or 20.
Oh, yeah.
So roll that damage,
Oh,
sir.
nice.
17 plus 5, which becomes 22. And then 19 plus 5 is 24. So that's 46 damage total. I think that might be a record for a physical combat striking round.
I'm going to give you a free point of stress that you didn't know you had. And earlier, when no one was looking, you just took some gunpowder and just quietly licked it off your wrist. So when you coughed up that hairball, it was primed and ready to
It was
go.
explosive.
So you swing that ball down, you hit Grumpy Cat's head, and it explodes. And then you turn and walk away like a cool guy. Suddenly, with a pulse wave, the domesticatrix falls silent. So you have a choice ahead of you, Mr. Mittens. It would seem that the Jellicle prophecy is almost complete.
Correct.
You can use the staff to ascend into a higher realm, or you can use it to go save your fellow cats. What will you do?
Actually, that's pretty easy. I'm going to save my fellow cats. I don't care about a higher realm.
Nice.
They slam the thing on the ground like, cats, to me!
So you hear a chorus of like, meow, 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 meow. You get the sense that there are some cats here, but other cats have been shipped around the globe, and it will be up to you to go find them and return them to their former glory.
That makes sense.
Butthole and Alan, beyond the throne room, you can see sort of a stairwell leading down, and the back of the palace is gone, leading to what seems to be the excavation of the entrance to an old tomb. So you know the Well of Souls lies beyond, and now perhaps it is time to bid goodbye to your friend as he goes in search of his fellow cats.
Yeah, before you go, can you put out the fire that I put in my brother's room? Oh, and one more thing. I really appreciate you guys' offer and helping me. Would you please bring Sir Goblin Jr. up here? Sir Jr.?
Goblin Jr. walks up, he bows.
I bow to him. Sir Jr. of Goblin?
Yeah, that checks out.
I get the staff and pretend like I knight him.
You place the crystal against Goblin Jr. and he floats up. It's kind of like Shrek when she like turns into.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
thing.
Yeah, that makes
so
sense.
floats up and like spins around and there's magic, and then he floats back down to the ground and he's still Goblin Jr. and he's just like snarf, snarf.
Damn it.
Because he was only ever a wolf. But
fine,
he nods to you and he goes up, licks your boot happily, and then like goes back to everyone else. Just kind of nods at both of you like, I had an adventure today.
I go over to Freitas's corpse and I take off his crown and I go and I put it on Goblin Jr. and hammer it into his helmet so it'll stay. And I go, you'll always be the king of wolves to me.
Snarf, 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 which translates to king of spiders, thank you. And he points to the fact that his crown is a crown around a spider.
You'll always be my king. And I just kneel to Goblin Jr.
Snarf, 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 snarf. Translation, you bow to no wolf. He would never say it to Quinny, though.
I bid you well, fair adventures.
Do you want to make them honorary knights of Catlandia?
Yeah.
I'm going to take a knee.
As do I.
Since I'm a king now, how much gold do I have?
A lot that won't be important to this session.
Okay, you both get 1,000 gold.
Yeah, all right. That's fair.
Yay! I'm not poor anymore.
And then I reach out to Alan and I say, are you ready to be knighted?
Yes?
And then I cast Cure Wounds on Alan at level 4.
Thanks,
I heard
buddy.
that you people had a friend. Here's 1,000 more for him, too.
Oh, thank
Tell
you.
him-
Goblin Jr.'s like, snarf.
I'll tell him I stole it for him.
King Mittens, you set out on your journey to go and rescue your kin, and the two of you venture forth into the Well of Souls to find an appropriate place to summon Quinny and continue the rest of your adventure.
And I lean over to Alan and I say, he paid us. And we didn't even put out that fire.
Smash cut to Quinny. Suddenly, the teleport circle starts to glow, and you can tell that on the other end, Alan and Butthole must have found the entrance to the tomb that holds the Well of Souls because they've clearly activated the teleport circle on their end. Ranger, it's come time to send Quinny on his way.
Very well. Taking out the key.
You had the key the whole time?
Of course I did. I wouldn't shackle myself to a turd like you if I didn't have a key to let myself go. Do I look like an idiot? Do I?
I told you earlier, yes.
I fucking hate you.
I hate you too, Ranger.
But I have to say, these last few interminable hours, I've grown to love you.
Don't you
I don't want you to put Alan in any danger.
unlock the shackles. Unlock the shackles.
And I want you to know that you have my heart. And though we have our differences, I leave you with this long, wet kiss.
Stop. Don't.
Preparing.
Oh. Why are you doing
Okay.
that so close to my face?
We're just like face to face.
You just
There's
pulled
no
me in
space
close.
between us.
Yeah. Stop that. Stop it. Just
I put my hands on his head and I bring it down and I kiss his forehead, really tender, but I kiss him for a very long amount of time. It's just,
you're dribbling. It's getting into my eye. You've got your mouth too wet. This is awful.
Some of it dribbles into your beard.
Well, I don't care about my beard.
I start Frenching the forehead.
Stop it. This is awful. Get away.
This is the most painful audio experience I've ever had.
Sucking all the dribble back up. Okay, no.
I wrap my lips around the top of his head like a snake is digesting a rat. Like,
And Bucky is learning what love looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, I lost the key.
I attack you in just a feral fury.
You know what? I'm sorry. I had the key on me. Oh, God. There was a lot of shit on you, wasn't there? Oh, tell you what. I fucked up. I lost the key. I'm just going to cut off your arm, okay?
Anything to get me away from you.
All right. Bucky, can you pass me a spoon?
Bucky comes with a straw, and he's watched basically this whole time the cruel nature of Ranger and how he mercilessly interrogated Bucky and how he treated his hero, Quinny. He thought back to the words of Butthole giving him the straw, giving him the duty of sucking the evil out. Bucky knows what he has to do, and he sticks the straw in Ranger's ass and just starts sucking.
As this happens, Quinny, you stumble back into the teleport circle. The spell goes off with your hand still shackled to Ranger and cleaves it off neatly in two. And you find yourself staring down Butthole and Alan, handless. Bucky, Ranger, what's happened with you guys?
Bucky's still sucking on that straw. Nothing's coming out because it's just pressed it up against like your pants.
But I'm just taking this time. It's kind of like it's become comfortable. It's like I'm at a hairdresser, so now I'm just having conversation with him. So anyways, I decided at age 8 I was not going to start learning the bassoon. And that's when I became an accordion guy. Anyways, at age 9, have you ever played Pogs?
No, Mr. Ranger, I can't get anything to come out of this straw.
Keep sucking. Anyways, I had a really cool smasher in Pogs. That's what you called the thing that hit the other... A slammer.
I was going to say, I don't know anything about Pogs, but I'm pretty sure they were called slammers.
Keep sucking.
This episode of Dum Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter, our special guest, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum Dums and Dragons artwork is by Del Borovic, who can be found at delborovic.com. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum Dums and Dragons.